keep having to find such weird angles. Like I don't know if I've ever filmed from this angle, like straight on. I'm always like in the corner at an angle, but I am in the process of getting new bookshelves and redoing this whole corner, and I don't want to spoil it in these other videos because it's not done yet. So that's why we're filming like this today. Bear with me. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Hi, my name is Liz, and in today's video, this is a video that I want to do every year because I feel like me doing it almost motivates me to read these books. What's the word for it? Not misdirection. What is it? What's the word I'm trying to think of? It'll come to me later, and this is gonna really bother me. It has to do with like this is bothering me so bad. Maybe I shouldn't have filmed a video today if I can't even like come up with words to describe what I'm thinking. Anywho, in today's video, we are going to be filming the books that I am scared to read. This is just a list of, it could be books, it could be a genre, it could be authors, it could be like a category of books, it could be like a trope or a niche, any of these things, all of the above, none of the above. I don't know. They're just books that I have not read for a specific reason. By me filming these videos in the past, this is going to be my third time filming this video. I've actually ended up reading like almost half of the books that I put on in these videos the following year. Like it's almost like I'm persuading myself to eventually get to them, which is really cool because when I look back on these videos, I'm like, oh, what was I so scared of? I feel like I'm growing as a reader, and I just love going back and rewatching these videos because it's just crazy to see where I've gone outside of my comfort zone compared to previous years. This year, I have a new selection of books, new authors, new genres, new types of books that I want to talk about with you guys. There's weird reasons for why I just like have a mental block with some of these books, but we're just gonna chat about it. If a book that you love is in this list or in this video or any of my previous videos, just know it has nothing to do with the book itself, okay? It all has to do with my very weird brain. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. I feel like this video is just gonna be all over the place today, and I apologize in advance. Starting off, this is a book, technically a duology, that has been on this list. I just haven't said it in previous videos, but it has been on like my mental list of books like I probably will never read those, or I'm terrified to read that, for many, many years. And that is Haunting and Hunting Adeline, that duology. I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory why I don't want to read those two books. I did get a damaged copy of Hunting Adeline, so since I have one of the two books, I feel like I might as well just go ahead and get the first book and try to read it at some point. I did get spoiled. I know like one of the things that is kind of triggering or weird that people have read in those books, I know about that already, so maybe that will help me going into it. I read the Butcher and Blackbird trilogy, absolutely loved it just because it was so fun. I did not take it seriously. I was not looking at it like, oh, this is the best literature I've ever read of all time, but it's so fun. It's so fun, so bingeable. The characters are hilarious. I find myself laughing constantly. So I'm hoping that that will be the case with these books if I do eventually read them. But I will say it is one of those books that I've always said I probably will never read it, but never say never. I mean, there's lots of books that I've put on this list in previous years that I've ended up reading and actually enjoying. So we shall see. If I do read that duology, it will probably be next fall. I'm not going to read it this year. It won't be anytime soon. Next up, we have the Red Rising series. I do want to eventually read these. I'm just terrified to read them. I'm slowly getting more and more into sci-fi, and I have more of an appreciation for sci-fi than I have in previous years, especially after reading a few that I've ended up loving, like Project Hail Mary. Absolutely loved that book. I do want to give more books a chance. Like Starter Villain is on my 25 books in 2025, but Red Rising, I've heard such mixed reviews. I've heard people say that this is like their all-time favorite series. It was so good. It was outside their comfort zone. They read it and were obsessed with it. But at the same time, I've also heard the flip side where people say it has a lot of world building. There's a lot of confusion. People like to compare the series to Hunger Games, like in space, but then people are like, oh, that's later in the series. It's not even book one. It makes me feel like I'm getting the wrong information about this book, and it also does not motivate me to ever pick it up. I do have, once again, another damaged copy of, I think it's Golden Sun, and I think that's book 2. So I do think I will eventually get Red Rising. Maybe I'll put it on my list for next year to try to read. I don't know, but at the moment and for many years, I've been very scared to read this series. The next, actually, author that I'm really scared to read is Brandon Sanderson. The big reason with Brandon Sanderson, I love fantasy. Fantasy is like my all-time favorite genre, but Brandon Sanderson has made such like a household name for himself, and his book series are so extensive and huge that it really scares me to ever make this a commitment, which it shouldn't freak me out that bad because like I've read other fantasy, like Throne of Glass. That's a long series. And like ACOTAR and Crescent City, like that whole like 3-book or 3-world series, like this is like a whole universe. And I've read all of them and I've loved them. I know I could do it. I just don't think I'm at the point in my life right now where I want to commit to something like that big. I do know he has a couple standalones like Tress and the Emerald Sea, Yumi and the Nightmare. I have a copy of Yumi and the Nightmare, and so I think maybe I would read one of those. I think Yumi and the Nightmare though is technically a part of one of the series, but it's like more of a standalone. I don't know. But that is one that I think I'll give a shot, one of those two. If I do ever read Brandon Sanderson, I'll start with those, see if I like his writing style, and then kind of go from there. The next category we're gonna talk about is my Illumicrate / Fairy Loot books. I've been subscribed to Illumicrate for, I want to say like a year and a half, and I've loved my boxes. It's like one of my biggest joys. Every month when I get my Illumicrate box on my front porch, I get so incredibly excited. Like if I'm having a bad day and I see that box, it immediately turns it around and I'm just like overjoyed. However, I feel like because of how beautiful they are, the designers and the artists who go into designing these special edition book box books, they put so much time and effort into the design and how beautiful the curation is of like this box. And it kind of unmotivates me to read the books, mainly because I don't want to mess it up. If you've followed me for a while, you know I like to keep my books in like pristine condition. If it's a book I love, it will look like it's brand new. Picking up a special edition book, to me, I want it to stay pristine. I want it to stay on my shelf and continue looking pretty. I keep gesturing this way because my little shelf under my TV is where I keep all of my Illumicrate books. Looking at the books, they're so pretty and I just don't want to mess them up. That's the biggest thing, is that I don't want to mess them up. They all do sound incredible. I'm really excited to read these stories. If I could get like a damaged copy of one of those books, I would read that and then keep the special edition up on my shelf. That's what would be like the best scenario for me. But since I don't, that's why I haven't read them yet. And I need to, because they all sound incredible. Next up, I have 2 books that have been on my physical TBR for going on 4 years, if not more. First one is Carnival of Curiosities, and the second one is Brothers Hawthorne. Both of these books I've had them on multiple TBRs in previous years, and they always end up not getting read. The Carnival of Curiosities, I think the big reason why I haven't read that one yet is because I bought it around the time that I bought The Night Circus, and I read The Night Circus, I enjoyed it, but then I looked at Carnival of Curiosities and it felt very similar to Night Circus, and I think that's part of the reason why I didn't read it, because it felt like I was going to be rereading the same story or something that was very similar. So that's why I haven't picked it up, because I haven't been intrigued by it. So I don't know if I'll ever pick it up. Brothers Hawthorne is like the continuation of the Inheritance Games trilogy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I enjoyed that trilogy for what it was. It's YA, like mystery. Brothers Hawthorne is like a little bit of a spin-off from the point of view of the brothers, like 2 of the brothers instead of the main character in the trilogy. And I was excited when I first bought it because it was that same world, same characters. Obviously you want to stay in that world if you enjoyed it, but I heard so many mixed reviews about it. A lot of people did not enjoy Brothers Hawthorne. I think that definitely unmotivated me. It just made me feel like, what's the point? I don't want to waste my time on a book that I might not like. And that's the wrong mindset to have with reading, because my reading tastes are different than everybody else's. Nobody has the exact same reading taste as me. Every reader is unique, and the things that you enjoy while you're reading and the tropes and the writing style, everything about it, you're going to resonate differently with different books depending on your life experiences. And so I really shouldn't look at what other people's reviews are and base my decision on reading a book on that. One thing about Jennifer Lynn Barnes's writing though is it's very fast paced and very bingeable. She has very fast chapters. So I feel like I could give Brothers Hawthorne a chance. I feel like I would read it in the fall or winter time. And the final book we're going to talk about today. This is a book that actually comes out, I want to say either later this month or beginning of next month. It's an arc I've had for months now, and that is Girl Dinner by Olive Blake. Lots of mixed feelings about this one. First of all, I tried reading Atlas 6, which is Dark Academia, a few years ago, could not get into it. It just was not for me at the time. I ended up DNFing it. Then I finally read this month Masters of Death. So that was the first book that I had ever finished by her. Didn't love it. Did not love the writing style. It felt like it was like being quirky, but like almost excessively quirky. And like some of the characters felt very bland, but then some had a ton of personality. It just didn't feel consistent. There was also not a lot of consistency with the types of characters and the world we were in. It talked about different religions, and it talks a lot about afterlife and like immortal beings. Any immortal mythological creature that you could think of was in this book. So like vampires, werewolves, ghosts, gods and goddesses, angels and demons. And it talks about God and Satan, and it talks about Hinduism. It talks about like so many different things. It felt so inconsistent and I was just like confused the whole time. I didn't know what world we were in. I don't know. And maybe that was the point. Maybe it was supposed to just be like a collage of lots of different religions and beliefs and anything and everything you could think of when it comes to the afterlife. It just didn't have a good mixture for my brain. My brain could not comprehend what I was reading. Girl Dinner is her newest release that's about to come out, and I feel like, I don't know, I'm just unmotivated to read another book by her, especially after just reading Masters of Death. This one is Dark Academia. A lot of people are comparing it to Bunny by Mona Awad. So Dark Academia set in like a sorority setting, kind of cultish vibes is what I'm getting from this. That's like the big reasons why I'm scared to read it. But another reason is right now me and a couple of my coworkers are taking turns reading it and annotating it and then passing it along to the next person. Already one of my coworkers has read it, annotated it, and now it's my turn. It almost feels like required reading, like in school. I don't like that. I don't want to force myself to read a book until it's the right timing, until like I feel like I can give it my time and attention and actually enjoy the story and the characters. You guys know this. You know this is how my brain works. That's why I do seasonal TBRs. And this is the perfect season to read this book, but because of those previous reasons I just mentioned, I'm just having such a hard time starting it. I don't annotate either. I don't like taking time to then like sit down and like write in the margins or like highlight, underline, whatever. I respect the people who do. I think it's very cool. I wish I had the time and effort and the mental capacity to do that. Alas, I do not. So that's another mental block I have, is just like knowing that I have to annotate it while reading it as well. And that is gonna be it for today's video. I'm sure there's more books or authors or genres or things that I am scared to read. These are just the ones that came to my mind immediately when I thought about doing this video again. It feels good to air that out because I feel validated now. I feel like you guys validate me. Oh my gosh, I finally remembered the term I was looking for earlier. Reverse psychology. Why was that so hard for me to remember? And why did I all of a sudden just remember it? Reverse psychology. I think that's what this video does for me. It gives me some reverse psychology, so then it convinces me to read these books once I talk about how much I don't want to read them. I don't know. Thank you guys for coming along with me on this very chaotic and wild ride. For some reason, my brain is just like very scattered today. I feel just all over the place, and hopefully that fixes itself soon. Let me know down in the comments what books you're afraid to read, because I'm really curious to see what other people think about this. Like if there's a book that's been on your TBR for a million years, or if it's just like a genre that you're uncomfortable with or just like have never tried before, or maybe it's an author you've never read before and you've heard so much hype and maybe it's overhyped. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, please let me know down below because I would love to read what you guys have to say. But thank you for listening to me yap about the books I'm terrified to read. You guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, and I will see you in my next video. Happy reading. Bye.